Hello everybody, and welcome back once again to Gaza Goji IT, and today I'm doing something a little bit unconventional on my channel. As similarly to how Harris T-Sang made the 2.0 version of Goji Gaz Reiner, which is arguably one of the most infamous hybrids in this hybrid fiasco, I'm doing the same, but with a hybrid that you might have never heard of, which is a real shame. Meet the Executor Titan. In my opinion, one of the most underrated hybrids that have ever been made. Even if it does have a bit of flaws in it, it has great potential that I feel was never treasured enough the way it should have been. And so, I'm making up for this guy today by making a more functional 2.0 version. The first genetic contributor in Mahab's genome is Lado Mahadi Mafube. This will be Mahab's base genome, providing the overall body shape with its large bulky frame as well as its powerful arms, which will prove to be one of the most formidable assets that Mahabit will wield during combat. The second genetic contributor to Mahabit's genome is Supersaurus viviani, which will be utilized to increase Mahabit's size and muscle mass, provide reinforcements to the skeletal frame and cardiovascular system, as well as air sacs and honeycomb-like hollow chambers in some of the bones for greater stamina. And lastly, it provides its hind limb and tail anatomy, as well as contributions to the pelvis for not only rearing up, but also allowing Mahabit to utilize its tail as a means of self-defense more effectively. The third genetic contributor in Mahabit's genome is Brontomiris mackintoshi, which will help further modify Mahabit's pelvic anatomy, namely the hip anatomy, providing larger attachment points for the leg muscles, allowing it to kick with those hind limbs. The fourth genetic contributor to Mahabit's genome is Tyrannosaurus rex, which provides typical T-Rex spurs, including even more reinforcements to the skeletal frame, including its thick gastralia for protecting the underbelly, heightened cognition, acute senses of sight, hearing, and smell, modified feet pads for better dispersing its weight on the ground for better weight support as well as more stealthy footsteps, and lastly, it provides its skull shape, jaw and neck musculature, lips, and dentition, which all contribute to its monstrous bite. The fifth genetic contributor in Mahab's genome is Albertosaurus sarcophagus, which provides its ampulla, a specialized void in the teeth that helps disperse pressure around them more evenly, preventing them from breaking under immense pressure. The sixth genetic contributor to Mahab's genome is Acrocanthosaurus atokensis, which will grant us its enlarged neural spines, which will provide larger muscle attachment points to help strengthen Mahab's body, a contribution that works in tandem with that of Brontomiris. The seventh genetic contributor in Mahab's genome is Purosaurus brasiliensis, which will help modify Mahab's skull, making it broader for not only anchoring larger jaw muscles, but also allowing Mahab to withstand its own bite forces without shattering its face. The eighth genetic contributor to Mahab's genome is Goniopholis crassidens, which will provide armor on the unarmored body regions of Mahabit. You'll see them primary contributor to the armor later on, as this armor will cover Mahabit's underbelly, neck, and inner region of the limbs. The ninth genetic contributor in Mahab's genome is Utatus pasquale, which will help seriously buff Mahab's forelimbs, providing bigger and stronger limb bones in addition to larger muscle attachment points, which not only helps with weight bearing, but also with putting an extra oomph behind every single arm swipe. The 10th genetic contributor to Mahab's genome is Mylodon darwini, which will help further strengthen Mahab's skeletal frame, provide modifications to the pelvis in addition to its specialized heel bone for rearing up more comfortably, subdermal armor for defense, even stronger low-frequency hearing, and lastly, it will further augment Mahab's forelimbs and claws for greater attack power. The 11th genetic contributor in Mahab's genome is Dinocrocuta gigantea. The largest hyena of all time provides a wide array of contributions, including an even stronger skeletal frame, muscle fibers, and a larger heart muscle that increase stamina and endurance without sacrificing much strength, stronger stomach acids which result in a more potent immune system, and most importantly, bolstered senses of sight, hearing, and smell, stronger neck muscles, a larger attachment area for the adductor mandibular externus muscle on the skull, thicker enamel in the teeth for better adaptability to crushing bone, and lastly, its large canines, which will be situated at the front of the skull for better gripping its prey, as well as easier penetration through thick layers of muscle and armor. The 12th genetic contributor to Mahab's genome is Dolinosaurus glyphodon, an extinct red-toothed shrew from Spain. This nightmarish furball had abnormally high concentrations of iron in its enamel, more so than any other shrew species in history. I can use PGE or precise gene editing to further incorporate these iron deposits onto the claws. Furthermore, it also adds on to Mahab's immunological properties with a highly potent immune system. The 13th genetic contributor in my hybrid's genome is the ringed caecilian. Moving on to the extant genetic additives, this goated amphibian will significantly boost my hybrid's immune system, making it immune to a wide range of toxins and diseases. Furthermore, it will also provide its mineralized collagen, which will strengthen my hybrid's armor without sacrificing much flexibility. And lastly, it will complement the poor source skull modifications by making my hybrid skull highly ossified for better withstanding its strong bites without smashing its own face. The 14th genetic contributor to my hybrid's genome is the great hammerhead shark. This bad boy from the oceans will provide cartilaginous reinforcements to my hybrid skeleton, which will manifest in two forms. One, replacing the bony composition of the cancellous bone, i.e. the inner layer of bone, with cartilage, allowing for much better pressure distribution around the highly thickened cortical bone, i.e. the outer layer of bone, for better weight support. And two, the reinforcement of joints, allowing for smoother movement, which will allow my hybrid in turn to move more gracefully without sacrificing his weight-bearing capabilities. And lastly, it will provide its liver, allowing for better filtering of heavy minerals and thus eliminating the risk of heavy iron blood poisoning. The 15th genetic contributor in my hybrid's genome is the spiny mouse. Seeing that cartilage can erode rather quickly, this peculiar little rodent will provide its unique ability to regenerate that cartilage in order to retain its structural perks. The 16th genetic contributor to my hybrid's genome is the Arabian horse, arguably one of the most iconic horse breeds in the world, as not only will it provide its heightened intelligence, but its enlarged nostrils, stronger bones, energy-efficient muscles, and sweat glands, which will be situated across the goniopholis scales, will help with increasing my hybrid's stamina and endurance. The 17th genetic contributor in my hybrid's genome is the Maasai giraffe, which will provide its internal mouth padding, antiseptic saliva, and specialized tongue for safely biting down on thorny or spiky objects. The 18th genetic contributor to my hybrid's genome is the Kodiak bear, which will further strengthen my hybrid's forelimbs, especially with a large shoulder hump for extra muscle attachment points, in addition to providing its claw structure for tearing flesh from bone, in addition to its barrel-like chest for warranting sufficient musculature to both the head and limbs, its fat reserves, which will act both as an energy reservoir and as a shock absorber, its hind limb and pelvic modifications for rearing up more comfortably, its heightened intelligence, strong sense of smell, and lastly, its molars, which will help accommodate an omnivorous diet. The 19th genetic contributor in my hybrid's genome is the crocodile monitor, which will further augment my hybrid's brain for greater cognition, further enhance my hybrid's binocular vision, provide its gular pump, a specialized throat muscle, for increased oxygen intake, an extra iron coating on the teeth for added sharpness to better cut through flesh, a beta-carotene sheath over the claws for better sharpness without affecting its robusticity from the bear, and lastly, it will modify my hybrid's tail, making it prehensile, allowing it to wrap around and grapple onto smaller opponents and throw them around like nothing, as well as making it flatten from the sides for dealing painful tail smacks. The last genetic contributor to my hybrid's genome is the armadillo girdle lizard, which will be the primary contributor to my hybrid's armor, providing its spiky, overlapping scales for providing optimal defense without sacrificing flexibility. With the genome now complete, it's time to introduce the final product. Orodracon, name meaning the golden boss dragon, codenamed Roman. Height, 6 meters or 19.84 feet in his quadrupedal stance, 6.8 meters or 22.3 feet in his bipedal stance, and 13 meters or 42.64 feet in his tripod stance. Length, 23.5 meters or 77 feet. Weight, 25 tons. Similarly to his predecessor, Roman is a sauropod-sized omnivorous beast, capable of tackling countless opponents courtesy of his powerful arsenal of weapons, all while being a fully functional animal that does not suffer from any anatomical issues or health conditions, allowing him to thrive in his natural ecosystem while standing proud as the undisputed king of his territory. And with that, we conclude this video. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and be sure to tune in next time for more hybrid content. So until then, goodbye.